Hello YouTubers, this is your boy Sway here, and today what I will be doing for you guys is giving you a very basic run through of scripting. I do not know much at all of my in and of myself. In fact, I'm really horrible at it. I started it just like a few days ago, but I thought I would show you guys what I've learned. So today what we are going to be doing is making a basic script that makes our cube disappear and reappear. And then what we will be doing is making our cube fall and then stop falling when we hold a certain key and continue falling after we release that key. So to get started, just make sure you put in new scene, lock onto your main camera, go to game object, create other, whoops, go down to cube, bring it out here a little, and then create another object, directional light, and then we have our basic cube here. So yeah, we're going to right click on assets in your projects area, right click assets folder, create JavaScript. Now, since this one is the most easiest, I will be doing the invisible script first. So, yeah. Invisible. Doesn't really matter what you call it. Now just click open. Okay, now we have our basic starter script, and we're just going to delete that. We're going to start out with saying function, update, open and close parentheses, a squiggly line, or whatever they call those. Doesn't really sound professional, but you know, whatever. Now make an if statement. If input, input dot get key down. Then what key to press down? I'm just gonna use space for this. Squiggly bracket, and then there. Sorry for this cough. Now we're going to use the renderer on the cube and disable that to make it invisible. Now, renderer dot enabled equals false, and then to close it off we put a I don't know what they call that, but that just, yeah, look at that. Now we're gonna save that and make sure we don't get any errors as it loads the script. There we go. Now we're gonna drag this to our cube in our scene, click play, press space, and you'll see that it will become invisible. Now we want to make it become revisible if we let go of the space bar. So what we will do is go out of this closed bracket, the first closed bracket, put in another if statement. If input, I can't write input right, dot get key up instead of down, then again space, and then a squiggly bracket, another open squiggly bracket, and another closed squiggly bracket. Now inside of this if statement, we want to click renderer dot enabled equals true. Then just like this one, we put on this little thing at the end, just to make sure that I type this in right. So yeah, enabled. Now click save. Wait for that to boot up and make sure we don't get any errors. It look good. Now if I press it down, it disappears. If I let go of it, it reappears. Keep repeatedly pressing it, and it disappears and reappears. Now, we want to make it fall in midair and stop if we press the space bar, and continue on if we release the space bar. Now what we do to do that is remove our invisibility script, because we do not want that interfering with our object. Now I'm just going to make another cube here. Move it one space down, or maybe 2 spaces down, and make it a little bit bigger so we can have a floor. Let me just add some shadows. You don't need to have shadows for this, by the way. I just like the way it looks. Now we will move the camera back and move the cube a bit up. Whoops. Move the cube up a little so we know that it is falling. Okay. Now we want to close this script and right click and make a new one, JavaScript, and click float. Doesn't have to be named that. It can be named anything you want. That's just what I'm naming mine. Click open. Close that. And now we have our starting script. Just delete that. Function. Update. Open and close parentheses. Squiggly bracket. Open and close. You already know that, hopefully. Another if statement. Input. I just cannot type input. I'm so sorry for this. Input dot get key down. Then what key will be space, squiggly bracket, open and close squiggly bracket, and now inside of this if statement we will put sorry for that, destroy, then what to destroy, that will be the get component object. And actually, if we wanted to, we could type this in, get component, and then which one to get. If you were actually going to use one of the components, such as in here, you can do it like that. Like if you're going to add a box collider, you would have to put the get component. If you're going to do an audio source, you would have to do get component. But since we are just going to be using rigid body, since that is what adds physics, we are just going to put in rigid body, no caps, and to close it off, this little symbol here. Click save. Wait for it to load up. Now we will drag this script onto our cube and add a rigid body. So when we start out, it falls. If we press space, it stops. But you'll notice that if we press it, it doesn't continue going on. We want it to continue falling after we release it. So how we do that is we go below the first closed squiggly bracket, go down to if, put in an if statement, input. I just always mess that up. Input dot get key up. And what key? That will be space. Open and close squiggly bracket. I'm putting another space there. Alright. Now we will put in, and actually to do this, you'll need to make a variable, which is fairly easy. Variable, var, cube, and then game object, and then finish it off with that little symbol there. Now what we will do is we will put in cube dot add component, then what component to add, which will be a rigid body. And then end it with that. Now click save. Make sure that we don't have any errors as it loads up. Now we have to go to our cube, and where it says cube, we have to drag in the cube that we want to fall. And there we go. Now we click play. As I hold it, it stops in midair. As I release it, it keeps on going on. But wait. No, there's not. It doesn't. You're probably wondering why. Button. This can really mess you up. The difference between button and key is on the keyboard. Button refers to the mouse. So the space bar isn't on the mouse, so it doesn't know how to run it. So if we were to change this to key, it would very well and very likely work. So now if we save this, and then we just clear this error, and we play again, as we hold it, it stops in midair. As we release it, it continues. So that is the very, very basics of scripting. I sure hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, have a great day, and bye.